Hello, snowboarders of the internet. I'm your host, Avery Lefebvre, and in this video, we're gonna show you how to dial in your Arbor Cypress bindings. That's right, you bought a set, and now you need to set them up. So let's dive right into it. The Arbor Cypress comes with 6 points of adjustability. You have the forward lean block on the high back. You have the heel cup. You have the high back rotation, heel strap adjustment, toe strap adjustment, and then push pins to move the toe strap back or forth. You will be needing a number 3. We do not want you, and you know who you are, stripping out your screws. The big thing with adjusting the Cypress is that we want to make sure that your straps are sitting on there perfectly centered, not off kilter like this toe strap. We want to make sure that the heel strap has equal distance on the inside and the outside, with the cutout being perfectly over it. We want to make sure when it is on the board that you're sitting perfectly in that heel cup, not too much heel overhang and not too much toe overhang, right in the absolute middle. When adjusting the heel and toe strap, you will have twist cams. All you will need to do is flip them up and twist them to get them to engage. It is very straightforward. You will not need a tool. If you have a boot that is at the larger end for the heel cup, you will need a number 3 screwdriver to move it out. If you are at the lower end, you will still need this number 3 screwdriver to release those screws so you can push it in. You want to make sure that the heel cup and everything will allow you to be centered in this binding. And those screws are right there where the straps go in through the chassis. So let's get into this. If you're a total sociopath, you will rotate your high backs so that they are parallel with your heel edge. I have no idea why you would want to do this. I don't believe in it, but you have that adjustment capability. Those are located with the screws below where the heel cup is, and you will need your number 3 screwdriver to loosen those up. To get it parallel, you're going to basically loosen the inside screw and pop it out. You will have a screw. You will have a washer with a little nipple. That nipple is kind of a locking mechanism. Right now it is in the middle section. We are trying to make this parallel with my heel edge, so we are going to actually pull in just a little bit. And these may be a little tight. Do not hesitate to give them some force. You're not gonna break them. A flathead screwdriver if you need to, just to kind of get in there. I don't have one, so I'm just gonna go old school and manhandle this thing, because that's how I do things. All right, so I know we're in the middle of this, but why don't you like, subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any more of these videos we got coming out for you guys. Once you've got the bolt out, you can push the high back to the rear setting, feed through, and line it up with the last hole in there. Once that's lined up, what you're going to do is take the washer with the nipple, put the nipple section into the middle hole so that the screw can feed into the outer one. And once again, you are going to hand thread these in. Do not force it. Do not try to cross thread it, because you will be screwed. You just want to hand thread it till it gets going. Then take that number 3 screwdriver that we have been using and tighten it down. Make sure it is nice and tight. You will feel it kind of skipping around just because the way that washer is, it's got some grooves. Once that's locked down, you're going to repeat this on the other side, except what you're going to do is move this high back a little more forward. Once you have removed the bolt, push the high back so that it lines up with the 3rd hole, or the front hole, if you will, and feed it through. Once you have done that, you're just gonna make sure that it's all kosher. You're gonna push it through, it's gonna go through. Make sure that the washer with the nipple is in the middle one. So the nipple goes in the middle, the screw hole goes to the 1st hole. You are going to feed that in by hand. Do not cross thread. We keep talking about that, but it's a real pain in the ass if you do. And then tighten it down with your screwdriver. You're gonna take your number 3 screwdriver, put it in there, and loosen this up just a little bit. You don't need to be crazy aggressive with it, but you do want to get it nice and loose so that you can actually slide this down. Like right now, this is too tight. So you keep going, you get it a little more loose, and now it will slide up and down. This is your forward lean, right? So if you want a lot, you crank it to the max, you put it down, make sure you tighten that screw down. You want to make sure that you get that locked in feeling, and boom, you're done with it. Now you've got forward lean, your high back is angled, so it's gonna keep your knees a little more bent. Let's say you want a little less, okay, cool. You're just gonna unscrew it again, slide it up, maybe you only wanted one click, boom, there you go. Tighten it down. You wanna get this dialed with the Arbor Cypress before you get on mountain, so you're not playing around with a screwdriver while you're out there. Hey, you like what we're doing over here? Do you want to support us further? Swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP. Become a member. You know you want to. Don't deny yourself that joy. Two of the easiest adjustments on this binding are the straps because they're on a twist tab. So what you're going to do is actually flip it up, unscrew it, make sure you pop the little safety pin, because it's one thing they don't tell you about is there's a little safety catch pin right here on the heel strap. So what you want to do is make sure that you get that lined up. So let's say we move 2 strap holds forward. Now we're going to tighten this down and screw it back in nice and tight like so. Flip it down and push it into the little crease on the heel strap. You ideally want to have your heel strap centered over your boot so that right down the middle the cutout is, so it's perfect on each side. That way you've got the thick side on the outside and the inside of the boot and the center right over your instep. Now there's 2 ways to rock a toe strap: toe cap or old school over the top. If you want it old school over the top, you're probably actually going to want to adjust this out just a little bit more. So once again, twist tab, pop it up, untwist it, and then you can slide this up or down depending where you want it. As I rock it toe cap, I like it just in there so that it stays put. And when you get it tightened down, make sure it's in that crease. If you need more adjustability with your toes, you're going to want to pull down the little cover plate, push down, pull forward, then pull back up so that it is locked. You can do that on both sides with this binding. Now the adjustment side of this binding is a little tighter to pull up and down on. Just be aware of that. It's got that little bend in there. So, you gotta kind of play with it. And as you can see, it kind of fights you a little bit. And then make sure you push the cover plate back up and over. But that is how you move your toe straps forward. So there you go. Let's talk about the biggest adjustment on this binding. On the back of the chassis, right where the heel straps mount to, there is a screw for the ladder side and the strap side. You're going to want to remove these with a number 3 screwdriver, not a 2, not a 1, a number 3. So these are going to be really in there. So they're going to fight you when you go to adjust them. Just be aware that you're going to have to put a little torque because Arbor is known for using a lot of Loctite. Once you've removed those screws, take the strap off, pull out the washers, make sure you got the screws, the washers, and the straps. Fold down the high back, and you're gonna notice that you have these little bolts. You can push them in. Now they might be a little snug, so maybe you need to tap them a little bit with the screwdriver or push just a little bit. You can pull the heel cup out and you can see that these screws in the slide track are pushed out and there's actually a gap in the back. What you want to do is line that heel cup in, push it in, and there are 3 screws. So if you need to go smaller, you push it all the way in, and if you need to go longer, so let's say you're at the max for these, then you want to pull it all the way out. Make sure it's lined up on both sides, and then you're going to push the bolt back through just like so. Sometimes they will fight you a little bit. Do not hesitate to muscle it. But once you have those pushed through for the placement that you need them, then what you're going to do is take your straps, Remember, ratchets go on the outside, not the inside. Take the strap, put it over the bolt. Take the washer, put it into the guide hole on the strap. Take the screw and hand thread that in until it gets in there a little snug. You are going to repeat this on the other side as well. And then once you've got that guided in, take your number 3 screwdriver with your index finger on the back of the bolt and tighten it down. And it will screw more than you actually think that it should, but you want to make sure that that is snug. There you go. Repeat again on the other side until that is locked down. All right, you should have learned how to dial in your Arbor Cypress bindings. If you didn't, I don't know if you should even be touching a screwdriver because, well, frankly, that's scary. These are very simple bindings to adjust. Hopefully you learned something from this video. If you did, good. Go watch another one. You'll learn more.